What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. And today on stream I just finished the final event that I had. It was the last PvP. I pretty much went by rewards from the best to the worst, and to be honest, none of them were great. For some reason there's been no booster rewards for the events. The last one there's like 2 or 3, both in PvP and in player versus AI. So this one, what you're seeing is highlights from a mix, right? First, there's some player versus AI, and then I ended with English clubs player versus player for like a training program, literally like 10,000, whatever, barely anything, not even enough to train a whole player, one player all the way up. And so I was Arsenal, and that event started off pretty good, man. I was literally able to place like Arsenal-like. I'm not the biggest Arsenal fan, but I respect how they've always played, first under Wenger, now under Arteta. And that's what I love about this game as well, is that you can play beautiful football. It's amazing, but it's the craziest thing in the world because it's almost like all these games, right? There's always something. And the something in eFootball, I touched on it a little bit in a previous video, but is that in events, not in divisions, thank goodness, but in events, you have this thing called Smart Assist, where literally it makes all the decisions for you. So say you pass the ball on the ground, it should have been in the air, they'll do the lofted pass for you. Say you shoot a ball near post, it should have been far post, the AI will shoot the ball for you in the best location of the goal. So it pretty much takes away a lot of the skill gap because it allows lower skill players that would have otherwise not known the best decision to make, and it gives them the opportunity to make the best decision and potentially win games, score goals, create chances that they wouldn't have created, right? So say, for instance, I was going to make a pass and it was going to get intercepted, but if I would have lofted a through ball in the situation and led my player, I could have been through on goal. Well, with Smart Assist on, that ball would have been lofted in, and next thing you know, an interception without Smart Assist turns into a through ball. And then, of course, on the breakaway, say you take a shot, maybe you choose a chip shot, and the goalie would have saved it, right? Because, he came off his line a bit and tricked you, but was ready for the chip shot. The game would have changed it. The AI would have changed it to a, low-driven shot to the corner, or whatever it may be. You guys get the point. The dumbest mode ever, right? You might as well just, let the AI control the whole thing for you, because they're making all the decisions for you anyway. You're literally pressing, 1 or 2 buttons, and then they're doing everything else. So that's allowed in events, player versus player. And why that's so relevant, it shouldn't be allowed in any player versus player mode, but why it's so relevant is because there's already a lack of game modes, right? Like I said earlier, this game is good, but it could be great. Well, the great part would be if they added things such as draft or a weekend champions type event, no different than FC has with champs, or UFL even has it with Showdown. It's unreal that eFootball doesn't have any sort of weekend event. I played that little qualifiers, eWorld Championship second round qualifiers. It, I guess, would be closer to FC's, Pro Ladder, FC Pro, which I've made it to that level as well and played in that. But this was more of on the weekend, and it's a every now and then thing. It's not every weekend. And you got some rewards for it, but it wasn't just a regular game mode, right? I'm talking the game lacks regular, every day, or at least every week, week in and week out modes. All you have is divisions where the rewards come at the end, and they're really, quite frankly, not that good either. And so all you're doing is trying to just climb a rank. Play game, climb the rank. Play game, lower your rank, and keep going like that, right? No rewards. Then obviously you do have objectives, so you could get some rewards from that. And then the other thing is rewards for events, right? And the events are either player versus player, player versus AI. I play on legend difficulty, and they actually do try to play football, so that's good, but the rewards aren't that good either. And not a lot of people like watching player versus AI. Not a lot of people like playing player versus AI, including myself, because part of the competitive aspect of this game is seeing your skill against another player's skill. But it's all ruined if you're way better than a player but he uses Smart Assist, because then you have 2 options. You either can play him and potentially lose because all these decisions are being made for them, or you can turn Smart Assist on and get some help too, which I can't stand that. It doesn't even feel like I'm doing anything. It definitely doesn't give you any sort of gratification because you didn't really earn it, right? The AI essentially earned any goals you get, anything you do good, any wins you get, the AI is doing it for you. And so once you take that away, what are you going to do? Not play events, not get any of the extra rewards, just no matter what, day in and day out, play divisions. And then you look at for content creation, think about that aspect. All right, guys, today divisions, tomorrow divisions, every day divisions. It's going to get old pretty quick, even though I love the football in it, and that is the best part of the game, right? As you see a beautiful goal by Cantona, those kind of things make the game awesome. The type of build-up, I had a goal you'll see later on with Arsenal in the event, the first game of the event, and it was excellent. It was like a 20-pass lead up to a goal. Actually, the 20-pass one the goalie saved, but the one before that, it was 3 or 4 great passes leading to a goal. Those kind of things are great, but you also need to add more than that, right? The game needs to be more. So I love all the detail they put with like the player builds, the tactics, the different setups, the different players you can choose for the different ways you want to play. All that is great. And that's where I always use the analogy like these guys are the kid in math that mastered trigonometry but still can't do his times tables. It's some crazy phenomenon that occurs, and it seems like that with Konami. Like you have all these amazing details, but you don't think to add enough modes to make the game fulfilling, right? You have all these details covered, but you can't think to have a better reward system, right? And then the fact that you have such a great game, but for one, you have a terrible meta, and it's because of the pressure tactics and combined with quick counter, something that Konami themselves added into the game. It's almost like self-sabotage because it takes away from the beauty of the football that can be played because of what they put in, what they developed. And you don't get to showcase that really with how it is. On top of that, they put in a smart assist that you can use. You shouldn't have it in, period. But okay, if you want to use it against AI, go be my guest. But you can use it in PvP, in events. So it almost makes it to where why would anybody want to play events? Like I said, I gave you the two choices earlier. Either use Smart Assist as well, or take your chances and potentially lose to a worse player because they're having all their decisions made by the AI. So all this is relevant for me because I have to choose, is there really enough content to go deep into this game and keep covering it? And I don't want it to turn into this for myself or anybody playing this game. I don't want it to turn into, well, I'm bored, there's not much to do, so let's go spin, right? Because I'd notice, mentally, right, subconsciously, if you will, that's what I kept going to in my head. Like, how do we spice this up? Why don't we go put some money in and spin, right? We don't really need any of the players right now. It's like Rodri, Vinny Jr., and I think Bellingham are the highlight players. And I also didn't get Bragami, or if I'm pronouncing that wrong, sorry, or Vieri. Should I go put some money in and spin for them? Well, if the game's lacking depth, if you already have enough players, right? If the question is, how much there is to do in the game, and that's what you go to every time, you're just getting suckered, right? You're just letting Konami take your money for no reason. I don't need any more players, literally. Well, I could use some players in certain positions, but definitely not the players that are in the store right now. So, it begs the question, do you think Konami knows this about their game? Knows that it can get pretty stale and knows that players will default to spending more to get every single player and turning it into almost a card collecting game, which people have commented before, and I said, well, isn't that every Ultimate Team mode? Isn't that what FC is? Isn't that what UFL is? But I get where they're coming from because this is the only game where you have to spend so much money to get the top players, right? Yes, your R9s and your Hollits in them, if you're going to save up the coins to get them, it's going to take forever. And so many players, if they even have the money, which is expensive, will just go out and buy them if they can. If not, the thing is this, you can do lottery packs, which I don't suggest those, but you can also save up fodder to do SBCs. Not only that, but there are some pretty good packs when you get rewards, like higher rewards, such as 1 out of 4, 90 plus icons or something. I was able to pack at the time the Prime Hullet. I packed Butragueño, the Real Madrid legendary striker. I packed, they gave us Maradona, and then you can evolve them up, and I had the coins to do that. and so on and so forth. I had a pretty ridiculous team, and no, I couldn't use my favorite striker, favorite pure goal scorer in R9. Yes, I was able to have enough coins to buy my favorite all-around player of all time, which is Wayne Rooney. And so all these things I did with zero money. And just to be fully transparent, I guess you can't say zero money because I was able to play tournaments, which are actually going on now. So in FC, you can actually play tournaments for FC points. And what I do is while the game starts getting towards the end, after, team of the season, I start playing these tournaments and I rack up FC points, add those to the points you get from buying the Ultimate Edition, and boom, you get a very big head start on your next year's team. I've done this year after year after year. And eFootball just doesn't have that. You either put in money for these top players or you don't get them. And therefore, with a stale game, right, and not having as much to do, that's what a lot of times players default to. That's what mentally I was starting to think, like, let's go get some spins out of the way. However, that's not what I want to do. That's not healthy. That's not what I want to promote to any players. If you don't need players especially, don't just go waste your money. But even if you do need players and you're not having fun with the game or you're getting bored real quick, well, going to get a new Rodri or a new Bellingham or a Vinny isn't going to change that. You go get your new Vinny to just what? Get mad at events because everyone's using Smart Assist, or to finish all the events like I did besides the co-op ones. And even those are terrible rewards, arguably not worth it. Or just to play divisions where, you get mad at that because it's so much, the meta is so terrible, right? I mean, these are honest things to think about when it comes to this game because I love the football aspect. I love what it could be, but not necessarily what it is, right? Because there is no draft, because there is no weekend mode, even if there should be, and maybe, hopefully, they'll add that eventually. But for now, it's divisions or events. It's AI versus you versus AI events, or you versus another player events, which many times you're going to face a player using Smart Assist. So as an up-and-coming player, still very new, let's just say a little over a month in when you look at just hours-wise, right? Because I played 1 to 2 other games. Lately, it's only been 2, but sometimes 3. But for just your run-of-the-mill average player from the player base, is this game truly satisfying enough to play long-term? That's more of a question that I'm leaving up for you, and that's more of a question that I'm going to leave open for myself as I continue grinding. Because I do love eFootball. I do get excited to get out on the pitch and play. However, now all the events are completed. No different than I would do in FC, where I would grind out any objectives, any of that, get that out of the way, then go into rivals, then champs quals and champs. I had it like in an order. So for me in eFootball, it's get all the events out of the way, get all the rewards, boost up your players accordingly, whether it's boosters, giving a player better position proficiency, or most importantly, adding skills, right? Then you go in and you grind divisions. So that's where I'm at. The division ends, I think Wednesday. So from here until Wednesday, we'll grind it out. We'll see how it goes. And let me know in the comments section how you feel about this game. Do you catch yourself, yearning for more? Do you catch yourself going, what's the point in playing? I need to know all this, and I'd love to know all this because, for one, I'm first and foremost a player of this game. And number two, if I'm going to create content and really center, my content around a game, I need to know where the player base is at. And since I'm newer to this, I haven't really had time to get a feel for all that. So let me know how you feel about the game. If you've heard any rumors that they're adding certain things with this big patch coming, I guess, I don't know if it's a year away, months away now. Give me more details on that too if you have them. And keep grinding, keep having fun. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.